Hey YouTube, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another beer review here at Thomas Open, where I'm joined with my good buddies from Nerdsense.
Hello.
Hola. Hello.
That took a while for them to respond. It's probably an
I
internet
wasn't
lag.
sure if you wanted us to talk or you were going to intro us, and I was like, I don't.
I always want you guys to talk. So on my left we have.
Oh, Sean. Wait.
This is definitely staying in the review. Okay, I
Yeah.
could say the one with the hat. No, on my left, right. Oh, that's now I get the confusion. Yeah. So, so on this side we have
Mike.
Hi, Mike, and on that side we have.
Sean. There we go.
How are you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Awesome.
I've already had a couple beers this morning. I'm pretty excited about this.
It's 10 a.m. I'm not judging. I'm just saying this is
okay. So I reviewed two lagers before this, and now I have on standby. I have an imperial smoked maple syrup oaked porter.
Oh wow.
And yeah, that's on the other side. And this glass is a rye wine aged on Pinot Noir barrels.
Holy.
So yeah, I'm having
I had
wonderful day.
I ordered breakfast from the Midfield Cafe, Sean. Because I don't know, it's a place in Nashville, and when I got back, the wife was like, "Oh, let's have some juice." I was like, "Or we can have some beer," and I had that Allagash that I put in the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chandler really didn't drink hers, so I had those beers,
Hell
and
yeah.
then I came down here. Really good.
Nice.
Breakfast beers are the best beers, man. Day
Facts.
drinking is the best drinking. Facts.
Mhm.
But that's not the beer that we're here for. We are here for part 3 in our love letter anthology.
This is part 4.
Weihenstephaner.
Part 4.
Part 4? Part 4. Crap, it's part 4. It is, because we have done the traditional Weizen. We have done the Cristal. We have done the Dunkel. And now it is time for Vitus.
Yes.
Weizenbach. Sean, do you want to tell us something about the beer?
It is a wheat beer. It is brewed by Weihenstephaner. It's a Weissenbach, so it's a wheat Bach beer.
So it's like a strong
Yeah.
wheat beer, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mike,
7.7%.
7.7, there you go. Mike, from what I understood earlier, you guys reviewed this beer before, and so have I.
I honestly
Mine's kinda-
didn't remember until I looked today to see who did the last video, and I was like, oh, we did that like 2 years ago.
Look at the bottle. Look at the bottle. Mine's very lively. Are you guys seeing that?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it is. And I've got
Mine's
2
coming out
bottles
of the
today,
bottle.
12 ounces.
This has been sitting still for like 2 months now. Look at what's
Wow.
going on. I have never had this happen with a Vitus before.
Actually, that brings up a good question. What are our dates?
I'm going to check that out in a little bit.
Oh, no, we have to do the math. Never mind.
Why don't we just say the numbers because it's funnier?
4151 is on mine.
7470 is on mine.
So I'll check mine in a little bit because I'm still pouring it. I'm going to give it the gentle pour, where I'm going to put the sediment in a little bit. Mine is 11A22, Best Buy, 1522. I think I have a reasonably fresh version. Maybe mine's just a little bit. Maybe I have a little bit too much yeast sediment. No, it's not that bad. I'm going to pour the yeast sediment in there later on because this gives us a nice view of a very clear version.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Compared to.
Yeah, wow. Yours is super clear. That looks like Cristal.
Yeah, doesn't it? That's pretty interesting. This is why I did. And now I'm going to pour out the rest of it because I do want that haze for days, which is part of a Weizenbach, of course. But yeah, you guys reviewed it before. I've reviewed it before.
Yeah, this beer, and I think we said this in all the Weihenstephaner reviews. We've had the beers. We love the beers. This is not so much of a review as it's just like a love letter to them in general.
Plus, we get to hang out for a while. It's fun.
Which is always fun. I think it was Mike who, a while ago in the chat, made a comment on which one of these he prefers more, the Vitus or the Caribbean. Which one was it again? Which one did you prefer?
By a long shot, this one.
The Vitus.
By a long shot. Yeah.
And for you, Sean?
I've been on like a Doppelbock kick in the last like 6 months. So I would say for me probably Corbinian. But if you asked me maybe last year, I'd probably go with this. But it kind of varies, like whatever I'm in the mood for, right? So because sometimes you want a Doppelbock, sometimes you want a strong wheat beer.
I'm kind of with Sean on that one.
Well, I've been drinking this year a lot. Iyengar Celebrator, whatever they kind of pronounce it. And that one is it's more my speed for that style of beer. It's just more it has way more like of that sort of like a spiciness, a little bit more of like that dark roastiness and more grape. It's just more my style for that,
I will agree there because not that long ago I had the Polano Salvatore.
Oh,
which apparently when I bought it, I never even realized it had a little bit of age on it, and that really, I love Corbinian, but when it comes to the style, the Salvatore does, ticks the boxes a little bit more for what I'm looking for in the style. Now we should all find Celebrator, Salvatore, and another Corbinian and do a lineup.
I'm trying to think if we get Salvatore here. Do we?
We do, yeah. I have not seen it this year, but I've seen it here.
Okay.
I'll go look for it. Maybe we could do that as the final love letter. Do a comparison between Celebrator, Salvatore, and Corbinian. Ooh, that could be a fun one.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, I have all the final dregs in and now mine is just as hazy as yours is. So there we go. I love the fact that, you mentioned it, Sean, but the fact that you deliberately got 2 bottles, not because you were like, I like it so much, but because you want to fill up the glass.
I got both bottles in.
How did you do that?
I waited.
It's a 23-ounce glass, I think. And that's
because this is
24-ounce beers.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, this is only 11.2 ounces. So it's not a full
there we go.
So
yeah.
Cool. So we should probably talk about the beer we came instead of talking about other beers so much.
That's probably a good idea. So let's go to the nose.
Yeah.
We do, but that's the part of the interesting. We like you said, it's not so much a review of this beer; it's just yapping on. Let's go see what this does.
See, for me, this one here is much more. You get much stronger, like banana style phenols almost.
Yeah.
It is much breadier. It's just a more oomph. The banana is like that. Is like banana bread, where you do sort of use the ones that are overripe, where you don't want to eat them anymore because they're kind of sloppy.
And they make the best banana bread. You want the overripe ones, right. I think.
Right.
But
that's what I get. I get that sort of that smell of like banana bread.
It's got sort of like a clove honey thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that, like honey sweetness. I was almost gonna say almost like a allspice type thing going on too, like
Good
kind
one.
of behind the
I like
banana.
that. Yeah,
but allspice has clove in it too, so yeah, that makes sense.
This is one of the reasons why I know I'm going to mention another beer again. That's what I do. This is one of the reasons. Smells that I'm getting from this is definitely one of the reasons why I always get mine Aventinos as a Christmas beer.
Mm-hmm.
All this allspice thing, that honey malty sweetness vibe, that banana thing, the esters, everything here screams like a Christmas beer. And Mike needs a nap. But yeah.
What's that?
I said you need a nap.
I'm relaxing.
Oh, that's good. That's even better. I love the smell of this. Again, without going in too much into depth and reviewing it, this is, for me, though, quintessential Weizenbock. It's still that sort of Hefeweizen character, more oomph. You get that extra malt bill, where they add just more malts, get that more alcohol content. But in the meantime, giving it that extra malty sweetness, even a little bit more. Well, yeah, I think Mike said oomph. That was your exactly. It's exactly that, and it's just glorious and delicious. And still actually refreshing. It smells refreshing.
Yep. It has almost I was thinking when I first smelled it, I was like, maybe I'm almost like a white wine character, like a winey character going on. But it could
I can see where you're going with that. It has sort of like and for me, a lot of white wines can, especially the semi-dry or the somewhat drier ones, have this sort of astringent note. which you want in a white wine. And wheat always gives me astringency. I don't know if that's me, but I get astringency from wheat, not like heavy sour astringent or whatever, but there's this soft astringent thing going on, and that's where I see that white wine analogy personally.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You guys want to give it a shot and just see?
No idea.
Cheers, brothers.
Cheers, fellas.
Hey, Bruce. Come here, bud.
Extra guest. Oh yeah.
Come here, buddy. You a good boy? Not really on camera much. Okay.
We can hear him though. We all love Brucey. So the honey clove sort of almost vibing towards a soft caramel vibe from the malts really pushes through more in the in terms of palate and flavor than it does on the nose, and that's where that real Bach character is shining.
And the way it drinks.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, so when I had this, when I bought the 6-pack and I had it a couple weeks ago, I forgot this beer. I thought this beer was a dark beer. I don't know why. I forgot, and then I remembered. But as I'm drinking it, if I closed my eyes and didn't know, or if I was drinking it blind, I bet I would think this was more of a, maybe not like a full on like super dark beer, but I think I could picture it being a little bit darker, like maybe Dunkel style, because this does have like those kind of darker notes versus the regular hef.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm getting like darker notes, but definitely bolder, I definitely confuse those sometimes too. Not that you're confusing them, that's not what I mean, but like, feel. No, Sean, you know what I mean. But I don't get those notes like that you're seeing, but it is definitely bolder. It definitely where I didn't get that much of that sort of white wine thing that you brought up on the nose. I definitely get it on the taste. It does have that a little bit of sharp astringency. It's not even sharp, but it is definitely there and quite there.
It's got a twang. It's like
it does.
Ooh, I like that one. That's nice.
Yeah. So like I definitely see where you're coming from on a lot of these things, but it is definitely a bold beer. Like where I feel like even like the Cristal and the Hef, they're boldly flavored, but they're soft as well. You know what I mean? Like you're getting all that, but it has a layer of just gentleness in the way it comes at you. This one's a little more bold. It's a little more aggressive. Those flavors are a little more in your face.
Yeah. Agreed. I am with Sean on the fact that every time I buy this, for some weird reason, maybe it's the labeling or whatever.
I think it's the bottle. I think it's the labeling.
It's the bottle, whatever it is. But every time I'm like, this is a darker beer. And I pour it and I'm like, what the fuck?
Because Dunkel and the Corbinian are darker labels, yeah. And the rest are all kind of like the bluish white. So you immediately go to dark.
And I get your train of thought there. It does have, yeah.
No, I wonder if the fact that I buy this all the fucking time. That's why.
Yeah.
I can't get it all the time. I have said this before in so many of these reviews. For some weird effing reason, I said fuck earlier. Why can't I just? For some weird fucking reason, I live 20 kilometers from the German border, and you get more Weihenstephaner beers regularly than I do.
It's so weird.
I think. Yeah. Well, I think that this is probably has to do a little bit with the fact that German culture is actually a big part of the American, hot pot amalgamation of cultures that you have. I mean, the amount of German immigrants at some point throughout America, maybe there's this sort of hunkering towards certain German traditions where you look at some of the. In cooking, in drinking, there's quite a bit, at least from my point of view, from what I am seeing on TV and movies or whatever. There's this bigger.
So when I think of like American culture, I often think of like where things started from, and like the East Coast, especially the Northeast, was the English, South like Florida was Spanish, and the French was Louisiana, and then Texas was Spanish, and California was Spanish. New York was the Dutch, I believe.
Absolutely. But I'm talking a bit more toward, that's early, like 1600s. I'm talking more towards like your 18.
Oh, I get what you're saying. But I was saying, like, when I think of those, that's what I think of, like, as what created a lot of the culture. I guess I don't ever think further than that. So you might be right. But I don't know. I would have jumped to that. That's all.
Let me put it this way. I live right next to Germany. Oktoberfest is a bigger thing in America than it is in the Netherlands.
I can see that.
So that's what I'm saying.
Exaggerate everything we can that involves.
Could be. I don't know what it is, but all
like
I'm saying
1,000,000%.
There's quite a lot of.
Because I know Irish people that live, like Irish, like from Ireland, and they laugh at St. Patrick's Day because, like, I mean, it's a thing, but it's not
I'm sure
thing.
Cinco de Mayo is the same exact thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, Dutch people can be like that. You have no idea around. You guys should start befriending Dutch people on Facebook and see what happens in February during Super Bowl. There's people here in the Netherlands who are like, oh man, it's Super Bowl season. Let's make snacks. Let's buy beers. That's what they're talking about. I see shit on my feed from Dutch people that I hardly talk to. They're like suddenly flooding in my feed with Super Bowl shit. I'm like, what the are you guys talking about? This is not, it's not like as big as the soccer leagues or whatever, but it's like people talking about Super Bowl. Like,
I think it's the same thing here when the World Cup happens, like more and more people are more into soccer. Like soccer is more prominent than it is if World Cup's not going on, right?
Probably. I just think it's funny.
It's yeah.
I think American football is funny.
I don't think
if you break down a lot of
football.
Well, yeah. I just never understood why they call it football. Like, couldn't they make up another name?
Literally, it's hand egg.
Yeah, and like the lowest score you can get is from kicking the ball. So why would they name the whole sport after something that's giving you the 3 points or 1 point?
Well, the biggest movements on the field are from kicking, whether from punting or from kickoff.
Oh, I see. If you're going that way, yeah.
So here's another one. Here's another one to think about.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, sorry. No, you go first.
I was saying even if you kick a field goal, that still causes everything to move way more. The kicking of the ball causes more movement from around the field than throwing.
Mm.
Even though throwing is more often. Just putting that out there.
Why is bowling called bowling?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a made-up word.
Where the fuck does where's the name come? Where does the name come from? There's a bowl. There's pins. There's no bowl.
I want to Google this. What if you took, because maybe, listen, hear me out. This video is off the rails.
It's funny. People will love this shit.
2 bowls, right? Back in the day, 2 bowls, and then glued them together, you make a ball, right? And then it's a bowling ball.
How do I exit this chat?
That actually makes sense, right?
No, but honestly, looking at where some words come from, I will believe that bullshit right away. I will believe that. I mean, the English language is, made up word. Anyway, I always love Thor in the movie Infinity War when somebody says that's a made up word and Thor says all words are made up. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Anyway. Years ago, I was talking to an Italian guy around here, and he said, "You know why so many Italian people are nicknamed Tony?" And I said, "I don't know, because Antonio. I don't know." And he said, "No, because there'll be all these Italian immigrants, like with signs trying to get picked up to go to New York."
See, that sounds just as made up as what I said about the bowling ball.
No, but that's what this Italian guy told me. I told him it sounded foolish.
Do you know? Do you guys know where the words pessimist and optimist come from?
Optimus Prime and pissing one's pants. I don't know.
So there were these 2 people that were walking through the mist, right? One of them says, "What a pest is mist," and the other said, "It'll clear up this mist."
The 3 of us need to be kicked out of the stream right now.
The last one I'm going to bring up, the last one is in America, at least, there's a common thing where they say, "Oh, he dimed me out. He dimed me out." And it's like to diming someone out is like to rat them out.
Yeah.
Oh. And I looked it up. I was like, what the hell? Where did this even come from? And it came from like years and years ago. People would use a payphone, which only cost a dime at the time, a 10-cent American piece, to call the police,
That makes sense.
and that would be diming them out.
Yeah, but
shit.
man, I love this. But that's actual, and this is why I love etymology. I love figuring shit like that out.
That's really that is really interesting.
And now to bring it back to the beer, this is why this beer is awesome, and this is why old Weihenstephaner beers are awesome. You drink them, but you have awesome conversations and fun, and this is what beer should be about. This is why this is beer, and we've talked about this. And for some weird reason, I've been mentioning this shit in some of my reviews lately a lot. I mean, as in terms of flavor, in terms of palate, in terms of finish, in terms of how things are made, so many modern takes on old styles or just new beers being created, like fucking the slushy beers and pastry stouts and whatever. They can be entertaining and they can be fun and they're tasty, but they just don't do what this does. This is beer. This is we came here to talk about Vitus and what's going on. We're talking about fucking etymology and.
Well, that's the thing is I feel like what I love about the old world styles, especially like if I'm gonna have an Eyinger or I'm gonna have a Weihenstephaner, especially Weihenstephaner and such that they've been making beer allegedly for like I don't know, is it 60 years or 1,000 years? I don't remember. But what like their beers are well made. They have shelf life. They're interesting. They're classic. You can talk about them for hours, but you can also ignore them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly that.
Hence what we just did.
Right. But the whole time you're watching us take sips, and it's not like this. It's
that you just
and you're thinking about it.
and it's a different thing, and maybe it's social. Maybe it's like I think about what this beer represents to me. I don't know. It could be a lot of things, but like I love it. I buy it all the fucking time, all the time. I always have it in my fridge. Not just obviously, but the Cristal and the Hefeweizen and everything. But I can sit down and watch TV with it. I'm not like there's certain beers I feel like I have to share. I have to save. There's something about this that I can just sort of quaff it by myself or with friends. And it means different things, but it still means the same amount of things.
That's beautiful.
that's poetic, man. That's just poetry in motion. And basically that's what beer should be. I mean, I think we kind of lost track in the beer geeks world what beer should be. And beer is just at the end of the day, it's not even beer. It's wine, it's whiskey, it's sherries, it's fucking port, wherever you're into, rums. It's about having fun. It's about being stimulated. It's about being provoked into enjoyment.
I also wonder, Thomas, and I brought this up to Sean recently, and I'm not the only one that's ever brought this up, so I'm not original here. The fact is that like Weihenstephaner, they make X amount of beers, and they made these X amount, whatever it is, I don't know, like 10 or whatever it is, 12. It is a finite number, and they've made them for eons.
Mm-hmm.
They make them right. They perfected them. Every time I get a Vitus, it tastes exactly right. Every time I get Hefeweizen, it tastes exactly right. Every brewery in the craft world, the whole thing is about trying to advance and do something different and do something new. And like, they don't sit there and perfect it. The beers aren't shelf stable. Like you can't. You have to buy them. You have to drink them, and then it's gone. It's like pop music.
Right.
It's fine, but it's disposable. It's
As a
disposable,
brewer, yeah.
and it's designed to be that way, and I think that's sad. I think that like the brewery should make its mark. And this, I mean, maybe it's just not profitable, and that's how it works. The same thing with pop music. You know, good music isn't profitable. Pop music is.
Of course it is. Pop music is like pop.
But good music
what,
lasts. Good music lasts, and pop music is recycled the next week.
Exactly, and what you're basically describing here, with so much passion, is the age-old saying: "If it ain't broke,
Don't fix it."
Yeah,
don't fix it." I mean, my very, very, very first review ever was a beer by the Moersleutel. I sent you guys some of their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And if there was one, so here's a fun thing. If there's one thing that they've been slammed for in the last couple of years, is their excessive use of lactose in so many beers. One of the beers he reviewed, even though it did say lactose on the label, I think it was Sean who said, "Is there lactose in this?" I think it was Sean, could have been Mike. I don't know.
Possibly.
But one of you guys was like, it was the coffee stout, by the way.
It was Sean.
Was it the one we did outside?
Yeah.
I remember. I'm trying to remember which one it was.
Yeah, I think it was the one that was outside. But anyway, one of you, I think it was
that.
Sean, but one of you said, "Is there lactose in this?" Now, Moersleutel has been called out for using lactose in all of their beers, even if they're not mentioning it. They made a statement the other week is that they're going to stop using extra sugars, lactose, or in what kind of way, in their beers, and go back to being a bit more unique in adding flavors to their beers. So they do want to still do adjunct stouts, but without all the extra sugars, lactose, and whatever, which I applaud. But this goes back to, guys, you were popular before. People loved you for what you were doing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't try to think we have a winning formula. How do we adjust the formula to win more? That's
the thing is, though, if you're trying to, with big businesses, they're trying to attract investors. They're trying to every year they don't want to stay even. Every year they want to incrementally increase profits. You know, if they see something that they think is going to work, I mean, Jesus Christ, especially if it does work, even in the short term. Like, no one looks for long-term fucking gain. They say they do, but they're always talking about short-term. Sorry,
apathy. No, it's true. Apathy is death, and a lot of companies take that into heart and realize if we do not innovate, we are in trouble. That's true. You can't sit still, but that doesn't mean that you have to reinvent yourself every 4 weeks.
You're right.
That doesn't mean you have to think like, oh my God, what is the newest trend in beer?
Yeah.
And what do we do to make sure?
It does seem like right now in the modern market, not even just beer, but in everything, it does seem like everything has to be day by day. It doesn't seem like there's any long-term thought or any or any like planning beyond just like quarter to quarter maybe. Because it does seem that businesses, everything is so fickle that things can just go right down the toilet so quickly. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I was watching something the other day that someone said. Sorry, go ahead. That said, if what was I watching? It was Hot Ones with the guy that started Momofuku and stuff, and they said that if a business doesn't make profit for, I want to say 4 weeks, I could be wrong, then they're done. Like if they can't make profit for like 4 weeks, then they're pretty much
fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's different.
It's some super small number.
No, but that's bullshit.
But it's the world.
No, but it's the world. But that is bullshit. I mean, you can.
Oh yeah.
It's not bullshit. Sorry, I'm exaggerating here. It's not bullshit, but
it sucks that it's the truth in a way, right? Like. But that's why people want to change.
You know what? I could go on for this. I could go on for this for like hours, and this should have been almost a live stream. I would have loved to see
I was thinking that like 10 minutes ago. I was like, this would have been a perfect live stream.
The comments from people. I can't wait to see what the comments in the chat are going to be like. I actually kind of feel that even though we said that this was going to be on my channel, we should post this on both of our channels.
It doesn't matter.
Well, we could talk about that. Anyway, what I'm trying to say here is, this is fucking delicious. My glass is nearly done.
Mine is as well.
Mine literally is.
Actually,
You son of a bitch.
Joke's on you guys. I have one more bottle in the fridge.
jokes on you
Joke on
guys.
you.
I have jokes on you guys. Like I told you before, I got a fucking rye wine aged on Pinot Noir barrels. I got a smoked Imperial Maple Oaked Porter. No, I got stuff going on.
I went to a store last night hoping to find a place, wrongly selling BCBS early. They didn't have it, so I bought some Vitus and Cristal and Corbinian. I bought a bunch of Weihenstephaner. So I have plenty for me.
So did you? So you bought more in all big bottles or 6-packs?
I only see these, man.
That's so crazy.
I'll tell you something after we've ended recording. I'll tell you something funny.
Oh yeah, we should probably want to.
Yeah.
People.
So
what's going?
We can and then we can chat for a little bit on, and then we can do our stuff. I should get some dinner cooking in a little bit. Anyway. So anyway, final thoughts on Weihenstephaner Vitus.
Delicious. Get it. If you're in your imported aisle and you see Weihenstephaner, get it. Don't even think. Just buy it. Unless it's the non-alcoholic one, then it's not that good.
Yeah. Vitus for me was the first Weihenstephaner beer that I fell in love with. I bought it in a big box. Where Sean got his glass, where I got my glass. I used to buy these every year, and it was 5 bottles plus 1 glass, so it was like a 6-unit box. And it had Corbinian, Vitus, the Pilsner, Cristal, and Hefeweizen, I think, or maybe one of them was a Dunkel. Whatever it was was 5 bottles, and it was the reason why I love Weihenstephaner, and Vitus was my favorite at the time. It's not my favorite now, but when I drink it, it brings back those old feelings, and maybe for a moment it is my favorite again. One of those deals. I think it's such a rich, not decadent, but bold and badass beer. I think it's fun to drink. It's fun to talk about. It's fun to ignore as well. You can just have it, and it's great. I don't think any of their beers are duds, except the non-alcoholic one.
And that's not because it's a non-alcoholic beer. Like, we've had plenty of good non-alcoholic beers. I want to say that. This one is just
not good. But for me, while Vitus isn't my favorite anymore, it is the one that maybe brings back the most nostalgia to, it's the one that kind of, when I have it, I'm reminded why I love the brewery so much. It brings me back to when I first had those first 5 bottles, and where my favorite at that time was the Vitus. I love it. Such a great beer. Get one.
Well, for me personally, I'm going to quickly, by the way, say for anybody who's thinking, where the hell is Thomas constantly looking at? If I look at my camera right now, this is the camera, but this is my screen. So if I want to look at what Sean and Mike are saying, I have to kind of look like this. So this is why I kind of look askew. Final thoughts on the beer. Look, I'm going to say something that's kind of harsh. If you keep saying I love beer and you don't like this, you might want to reevaluate if you're into flavored alcoholic beverage or if you're into beer. There is a difference, and that's harsh. And I know I'm going to be kicked out for this by some people. Some people will hate me for this. I might lose subscribers. I don't fucking care. There's a difference between an alcoholic beverage with a lot of flavor in it and a beer. This is beer.
I think drop that mic if you got one.
Well, let me not add on to it. Let me give my pieces. Enjoy what you enjoy.
Of course.
But and I like those flavored alcoholic beverages too, right?
Me too.
But there's just something. There's just something about when you have something like this. That's just a little more. It's not substantial. But it just brings you back a little more to what beer was, and everything has to move forward. I don't mean that everything has to be the same and all those things. That's what I'm getting at. But like, when you get a bottle like this, it's gonna be the same every time. They figured it out. They got the fucking thing working. So if you're looking for consistency, you're looking for something that every time you have it, it's gonna be exactly what you're looking for. This is it. Because if you like the new hotness, the new IPAs, all these things, every time you have them, they're a little different. They're not the same. The hops are especially some of the ones that are pretty volatile. The brewing processes aren't figured out in all the ways that this is.
Mhm.
This every single time you have it is consistent. It's just you're looking for something that is bold and delicious, and every time you want it, it's gonna taste the way you want it. That's the one.
That is exactly why I still say, and there's a lot of people who will look at me and go like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Because I talk to a lot of Pils drinkers, like Pilsners, but talking about macro Pilsners.
Yep.
And every time I tell them, I don't buy macro Pils except for Felton's, which I consider a macro brewery, but they're the ones that
Felton's?
don't have Felton's is like a Pilsner.
I don't know what that is.
Felton's
For me,
with a V?
Felton V, yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
that's
you can-
macro?
For me, it's macro. I can get that for 70 cents for a can here in the Netherlands.
But they're not owned by Big Beer, right? Though they just
No,
brew their shit.
no. But for me, it's macro. Why do I should have said macro? As in, you can find it in every supermarket for like 70, 75 cents. But I consider it a German classic. For me, this is one of the best Pilsners out there.
Oh, it's
because it is
great.
consistent. It is a classic German Pilsner. It is exactly what I want. When I come home and I start making dinner, I want a Veltins. When I sit down and I want to watch a movie and I want to have some snacks, I want a Veltins. If it's a hot summer's day and I sit outside and I'm going to put the barbecue on, I'm going to make some hot wings or whatever, I want the fucking Veltins. Because this, to me, is the epitome of a classic German, easily accessible. That's what I'm trying to say. Easily accessible, always available lager. And people look at it and they're like, yeah, but it's just like 75 cents in a 50 centiliter can in a supermarket. So it can't be good, right?
Well,
Look how cheap Weihenstephaner is still.
Thomas, let me ask you this question. Is it delicious?
It is absolutely fucking gorgeous. And you'll find it in my stories on Instagram 2 or 3 times a week.
Can you
Also,
talk
Thomas
about it with your
literally-
friends and have such a good time talking about it? Can you?
No, because I'm talking with my friends about other shit, and then I'm just drinking that beer and having a hell of a fucking good time.
So you can't ignore it.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm asking.
Thomas
What I'm
legit
saying-
just filmed a Veltins commercial.
There we go.
Like as you were doing it, I'm like, this is perfect because you were like, when I get home,
honestly,
I think I want a
I think-
Veltins. When I go
There you go.
outside and grill, I want
I
a
think-
Veltins.
I think if I don't post any Veltins in my Instagram story for a week, Veltins is going to text me like, yo, dude, what the fuck?
Are you alive?
Are you like no, they actually, I get like likes every now and then. I get a like. I post it in my story, not from every story, but every now and then when I post it, I get a like. I think if they're like, hey, what the hell? What's going on, dude? Like, are you buying Amstel? Are you buying Heineken there? What the shit, dude?
I've never seen it in stores here, like to buy in cans, but the place that's what's the place that used to be the Italian place that has St. Bernardus on tap all the time?
Oh, the place in downtown Lowell. Yeah.
Yes, they have
The
Veltins.
Keep.
They have the Kolsch and the Pilsner. No, they have the Kolsch and the land beer, and it's fantastic.
I remember
Really?
actually responding to a story or a post from Matt a couple of weeks ago because I was kind of angry in a positive way with him. Like, holy shit, dude, you still get the original can art. So the Veltins in cans that we get have this like modernized new look. The beer is still the same, and it's absolutely still stunning. But they changed the label, the can art here, and he still gets the original one. And I hate him for it because that one just screamed more traditional. I don't know. I don't know. And I have 2 groups of beer friends. People who go look at me and go like, "What the hell are you doing?" And then there's people every time I tell them, they ask me, "What are you drinking?" I'm like, "I'm on the Veltins," and they go like, mm-hmm. They just go, mm-hmm. I mean, maybe I'm an asshole here, and if people just want to unsubscribe right now, go for it. But
I think when this gets released, it should be released as a Vitus beer chat, like a
Yeah, we could just release it as like a chat. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna post it as like we talk and drink Vitus, something like that.
Yeah.
Thomas Opent
Like-
Nerdsense talk bullshit and drink Vitus, something like that. Because by the time I post this, looking at the time we spent chatting beforehand and everything, it's gonna be about 40 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and that's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's again, that is why this is good beer.
We should definitely plan the last one. If we do the side by side, or if we do Corbinian, we should do Corbinian as a live stream, and then we do the side by side later, or just bring them on. Actually, or just do Corbinian, then
Live
do the
stream.
other ones right after.
just live stream it
Yeah.
anyway. It doesn't matter. Do the whole
Yeah.
thing as a
Just
live
live
stream.
stream all the shit and then have people join and make sure we announce it and people can get all the beers and we can just stupid fucking fireworks. People can yeah,
Fireworks?
Yeah, whatever. People can
What
just
holiday is it?
Sunday.
Oh Jesus! Was it
It's not burning. Okay.
Anyways,
Yeah, we're still recording. I realize.
that is-
I didn't mean it like that.
That's gonna be in there, dude.
There's no way she's gonna get this far into this video. Then
I
again,
don't
she won't
care,
even
but
get a
that's
minute.
gonna be fucking in.
You know what?
Look at Mike's face. Mike just froze. What's this? Oh
boy.
God. Wait. I'm on my laptop. I can actually say this. This is going to be live posted. Wait, Sean, while filming
Are you shitting
filming
me?
this review. What's burning?
Carrie
Wait,
must be
wait.
cooking.
What's burning? Oh, Carrie's cooking.
I'm the worst.
It's staying in the video. Oh man, this is
That's
one of the best
perfectly-
videos staying in the
This
video.
is great.
Oh my God. This is awesome, guys.
I think we
just
say this
really
at the end of every Weihenstephaner video. It's the best video, and it gets
Isn't
better
it?
and better every single time.
This is why I love doing reviews together, be it like in real life or I am absolutely planning on coming over in next year, by the way. We have to make this work. It's going to be fucking
I can't
amazing.
wait.
I can't wait either. Guys, you go enjoy your Sunday. It's about what, 11 a.m. for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
10. Well, 10. Yeah. Almost. Yeah.
Yeah, almost 11. So it's about 5 p.m. for me. So I'm going to start dinner. I'm going to make some roast chicken, potatoes, going to make some green bean stew, whatever thingy. Not stew. Use the wrong word. Whatever. I'm going to make some dinner and we'll chat in the next review. It's going to be fun. This was Thomas Opent. These guys are.
Nerdsense.
Nerdsense. Yep.
And what do you guys always say at the end of a review?
I
This
just
is Mike.
froze.
This is Sean.
And this is Nerdsense. That's what we usually say. And then the music kicks in, and it's
Yeah.
Wow, that was a bit of a downer.
also nerdsense.net. Plug.
There you go. Follow these guys on YouTube. Follow these guys on Instagram. Follow these guys on Facebook. Follow them everywhere. Just follow them. Stalk them. Make them feel uncomfortable. Make them feel like, I don't know, stalked. There you go. See you guys soon and enjoy your Sunday. Cheers, guys.